After 15 long years of hopping, Enkuru finally carried life in her womb. For more than a decade, she had cried through countless moons, whispering prayers into the night. Every year closed with her hands empty and her heart bruised. Her husband, Chindu, who had once held her gently and promised patience, slowly turned distant. Love faded from his eyes as time dragged on. The village of Umuora buzzed with cruel gossip. Some villagers said evil spirits followed her. Others claimed the ancestors had locked her womb forever. One painful morning, after another bitter argument filled with sharp words and wounded pride, Chindu packed his clothes. "This marriage has failed me," he said coldly. Before she could speak, the door banged shut. Enkuru sank to the dusty ground, gripping her faded wrapper, crying until her body could cry no more. Days became weeks, weeks dissolved into silence. Then one afternoon, while clearing weeds behind her small mud house, dizziness washed over her. The world spun. Her neighbor, Mama Ifananya, rushed to her side and insisted she visit the clinic in Enkwo town. After the test, the nurse smiled warmly. "You are 1 month pregnant." Enkuru stood frozen. "That is impossible," she whispered. "My husband left weeks ago." But the truth could not be denied. Life had found her when hope was already tired. As months passed, her stomach grew unusually large. By the 6th month, her belly stretched forward as though it carried more than one destiny. Women stared in disbelief. Men murmured in low tones. "Triplets," some guessed. "Maybe even more," others whispered. Still, Enkuru refused to give in to weakness. Each morning she tied her wrapper high, lifted her hoe, and walked to the farm. She planted crops, fetched firewood, and carried heavy water pots from the stream. Her stomach strained against the cloth, yet she pressed on. "If suffering brings me motherhood," she often said, "then I will endure it." By the 8th month, her strength failed. Walking became a struggle. Breathing came with effort. She sat most days, waiting, while the village watched with both fear and wonder. Then came the night of destiny. Rain poured heavily. Thunder shook the sky. Lightning tore through the clouds as Enkuru screamed in labor. The midwife worked through the storm. One cry pierced the air. Then another. And another. When dawn arrived, the midwife collapsed in disbelief. "8," she whispered, "8 healthy children." The village exploded with shock. News raced through nearby towns and distant markets. Travelers carried the story beyond rivers and borders. Among those who heard was Chindu. Shame crushed his spirit. The woman he had abandoned, broken and childless, had become the mother of 8. His heart burned with regret. Love, wounded but alive, dragged him back home. One bright morning, Enkuru sat outside her house, breastfeeding her Barbies, when slow footsteps approached. She looked up. Chindu stood before her, older, thinner, humbled. Dust covered his clothes. Tears filled his eyes. "Enkuru," he whispered, "I failed you, forgive me." Silence hung heavy. Villagers watched from afar. At last, she rose gently and said, "These children need their father." Chindu fell to his knees, sobbing. From that day on, he changed. He rebuilt their home, fixed the roof, worked tirelessly in the fields, and carried each child as though holding treasure. The same village that once mocked now watched in awe. A broken man found humility. A wounded woman chose mercy. When people asked Enkuru how sorrow turned into such blessing, she would smile softly and say, "Faith never fails, it waits for the right moment." And in Umuora, their story became legend, a reminder that miracles grow even in dry ground, and love can return to heal what once seemed destroyed. That is the end of my story. Please like this video, share, and subscribe for more interesting stories like this.